What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be installing ZZPs Larger Throttle Body for the LTG engine 2.0 turbo. As you can see, I already ordered my parts. They just came in yesterday, and in the box we got all the parts needed to make this swap happen. So let's get right into it. Let's get started. All right, first thing we want to do is pull off the MAF sensor, which is this sensor right here. First thing you're going to do is pop this red tab out. You're going to pinch in here and pull straight out, and that is done. And what you want to do is set this aside. You can just kind of sneak it up over here so it's out of the way. All right, that's step one. The next thing that we want to do after we remove that MAF sensor is we're going to remove the MAP sensor, which is right down here. You can see this. That purple wire is kind of your dead giveaway. That is your MAP sensor. Now, you're supposed to be able to lift this tab up like that, and then this is supposed to release. So as you can see here, it kind of shuts in when it's down, and as I pull this up, this kind of comes off. My problem is it's not coming loose, so I'm gonna keep trying to wiggle it out or find a way to take it off, and then I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, as you can see, I was able to get it off. It just took a little bit extra manpower, so I just had to really catch a grip, and it came right off. Did feel like I almost broke it, so be careful with that plastic part. You know, if that's never been taken off, and my car is a 13, so I'm sure it was stuck in there because of the 8-year or whatnot, but just give it a little bit of tough love and it'll come right out. All right, so we got the ratchet in here, and it should be cracking on the way up and then loosening as you go down. I know it's kind of silly to give that detail, but hey, you know, some people need it, so just whatever makes your life easier. Now the next thing that you want to do, oops, and there she goes. Anyway, all right, so it's still there. The next thing that you want to do is remove this part from this piece here. You might want to stick like a flathead in here all the way along the edges, all around, so that it's easier to pop it off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. All right, so this is by far probably the hardest part so far of the job, is removing these pipes from each other. So I'm going to skip to the next step and see if I can't just maybe remove this whole piece with the throttle body together. So the next thing we're going to do is, you got a gray like clip right here, really thin, this gray one. We're going to just use our flathead, and we're going to push it to the left counterclockwise until it clicks. We got that gray clip moved. Now this should just come right off, and now we have access to the original throttle body. And as you can see, this one is only held by 4 bolts, 2 on top and then 2 on the bottom. And we still got to remove this piece, so I'll keep working on this and I'll be back. And voila. So this thing was super tight. It was in here like this. We loosened it up from the top. Because of this, we popped that over to the left. And then what I did was I just turned this way after loosening around with a flathead a little bit. And I just kind of kept turning like this, making sure that the hose there did not break or turn. So I was being really careful. I turned it all the way over, and then it just popped right out. So now we got that piece out of the way. We'll go to the next step. Okay, now we're going to remove the actual MAP sensor with a T20. We're going to put it right in there and unscrew this thing out of the way. Now that we got these two apart, now we're going to go ahead and tackle down the actual throttle body. As you can see, we have the 4 bolts here. We got one, sorry about my finger, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 down there. ZZP was calling for 4mm Allen wrench. Mine actually, for some odd reason, ended up being a 5. So I tightened mine up with a 5. 4 was a little bit too small. And now we're going to add the pipe to this. This will be assembled just like this, so that the sensor is facing inside the same way that the pipe is turning. So we got a ratchet with an extension hooked to a 10mm, and we're going to go ahead and remove all 4 bolts. All right, we got all 4 bolts out of there. Now we're going to go ahead and just pull this thing out of the way here. That was easy. And this comes right off. Here's just a side-by-side of the new throttle body by ZZP and the factory throttle body that came in the ATS. As we can see, they are obviously different sizes. May not look like that in the video, but they are. So we're going to go ahead and install the new one using the same 4 bolts that we used to remove the old one. All right, new throttle body is in with the 4 screws here. Next, we're going to attach our pipes. All right, we finally got it put together. I did run into a couple different things here. I haven't plugged in the sensors yet, but problem I ran into was one of the clamps that was provided by ZZP was way too small to get through and tighten with that new throttle body. I don't know if I'm the only one with that problem. I just used the factory one that came from down there, and that worked just fine. So we're gonna connect the sensors back. I'm just gonna make sure everything's tight, and then we'll come back. All right, so MAF sensor is back in there. This thing is clipped, and the map sensor that was down here, I don't know if you can see, maybe I can get the light over here, 1 second. So as you can see, now it's flipped the other way. So the part that we were pulling out on is now on the left side. So now to take it out, you'd have to pull that side out. Okay, so make sure you put that back in the right way. And that's pretty much all. This install took about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and everything went through pretty smoothly, other than, like I said, the clamp and taking out the tubes. But you know, nothing that ZZP could do about that. Clamp is pretty easy to get if you're having a hard time like I was for some odd reason. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start it up, and I won't be able to test drive it today because it's kind of late, but at least I'll see if we get any codes or anything like that. So no codes. That's good. Let's go and check out the front, see how that's looking. Sounds pretty good. We'll test it out tomorrow morning and we'll follow up. Hopefully you guys like the video. I'll keep adding some stuff as soon as I get more parts. You guys take care.